buried alive, right? Benny Lee squeaked out their grasp. They had him. He got out. Willie Lloyd got out and escaped their grasp, but he wouldn't act right by his family, so his family did what they did to him. Right? And they still got other kings in the Vice Lord Nation that's functional and operational to aid and assist the fellow righteous brothers in the rebuilding of our communities, but they don't want to be a part of it if the government involved, because every time the government get involved, they FRS up. They took our breakfast programs, used them in our community long enough to take them to somebody else's community before they cut them off in ours. We didn't see it coming. They gave Angel Bay money. The government gave him money to do what he was doing just so they can accuse him of fraud for doing what he did with the money. It's a grant. It was a grant from the government to pay for the work he was doing already in the community. Look it up. I'm not making none of this up. And if there's any people from Chicago that's in the comments, tell them, am I making this up? They told on themselves. I didn't write none of them government documents. They wrote them. And they told you what they did, how they did it. And it's the same MO they used. They burned up and blew up Philadelphia, moved Brother John Africa. And Ramona Africa here to tell the story, so y'all don't have to believe me. We've been in a war.
Yeah, we're not slaves. We prisoners of war. We were never slaves. We were prisoners of war.
We've been at war for 500 years. The Gullah War just ended up having to go clandestine because we had to get a different type of feel for the strategies they was using. And this is what made them call Chief Pontiac Rod Hayes, because one of my specialties is tracking the source of nefarious sorcery.
Yeah.
That's my job.
Yeah.
I don't have a job because I'm better than nobody. I had a job because that's what I was trained to do from birth.
You call
so now, if I'm identifying the conjure, I'm telling you whose blood the Constitution is written in to make us all go into this placid consciousness and allow them able to rule over us. They wouldn't have been able to rule otherwise. And I tell you where the agreement came right out of their Bible, where it say the blood of the righteous shall not be spilled in vain. And they told you Crispus Attucks was the first one to die in the American Revolution, a nigga, and they don't never want you to forget it because they got to give you the opportunity to discover first blood. It's blood in, blood out. Right? First blood was one of us. That means it was our shit. Then while they doing a political campaign with a George Washington first president narrative, they in the boardrooms of secret societies draining the blood of Crispus Attucks in the buckets and using quill pens to re-script it word by word, letter by letter, page by page. In that Constitution that's sitting right there, you can see what it looked like by looking up the George Washington Masonic Memorial Museum. And when they show you the Constitution in there, you see that that blood is faded. The contract is over, baby.
Yeah.
So it was a conjure war, but we had some other stuff going on. We had other conjures that was interfering with our ability to see clearly the problem. They had to be undone first before the final conclusion of the big conjure. which was the Haitian revolutionary conjure, was still open. The broken mirror to break the sisterhoods up was still open. These people got to close, their descendants have to close the contract. And it falls to the duty of the descendant that has the most similarities in genome sequence to the original person who executed the spell or curse. Because only the person who cast the spell can break the spell. And the person's genetics that's closer to it can channel the person enough to get permission to break the curse. But you have to do it by reenacting or re-walking in the steps of your ancestor. Right? So when you understand that the Huguenots, the French, were the ones we was fighting on the Louisiana territory, the same ones that the Haitians was fighting, and that they had Toussaint in custody for a period of time before the war got thick. This had to be reverse engineered by a descendant. That means that somebody descending to Toussaint L'Ouverture, who's closest in genetic makeup to Toussaint, will be able to channel him enough to live the suffering of Toussaint L'Ouverture in the breaking of the Haitian revolutionary conjure. So then you see what happened to divine insight. Because the custody of the French is a prerequisite in walking in the path of the particular ancestor. And this how you have to know how to break the curses. So he getting stronger, you know, and we know he gonna get out from under it because we knew it was some BS when it happened. We knew what they came at him for. You know, we know why they made everybody move how they moved in the situation. It wasn't no coincidence that he was instructed to isolate himself from spiritual powerhouses who could lend some spiritual support to the attack he was under. So they got to make sure he isolate them away from him first. Strategy. This is being done strategically. It's not haphazardly. It's not somebody just stumbled across the brother and said, "Cuss them brothers out." No. Snake slid up under him, fed him some venom, and played the victim to play on his masculine traits where he defend the women he respect. Right? Then it put him in the adverse position because he know now that he done isolated himself. He now been Toussainted. He been captured on the French ship, isolated by the conquistadors and the Huguenots while he tried to figure out how to get free. It's just a reenactment. Because of the blood and the right, you have to walk the path of the ancestors to walk out of the condition that trapped us in order to free us from the condition that we trapped in. Right? All of the people that was present, descendants from the night where they made the pact to conjure the spirits from across the crossroads to assist them to oust the enemy for the final liberation. From there, they sent soldiers to Florida and set up Little Haiti. Their appointed post in the war was Little Haiti. That's why they never left, because they had to hold a post, because the only time they're going to collectively leave is to rebuild Haiti. It's the only thing that will be strong enough for their heartstrings to take them back home. Now, the Bookman's role in it, he's from Jamaica. And this is why Jamaicans is the only police force that the Haitians let over there. But we not paying attention because they got us thinking that Dessalines Barbecue, son of Dessalines, is a gangbanger. We don't know he a tribal leader walking in the ancestral path to redeem the land from the clutches of the colonizers. But with all of this stuff going on, right, the Bookman got to go deal with the curse that's put on Jekyll Island. Because the same ones that he fought in Jamaica that led him to Haiti is the same ones that landed in Florida and found that place called Jekyll Island and tried to put the curse on the land. Right? And now they got the three sisters that come after them doing the ceremonial female parts of the conjure. And one of the sisters was the one who actually was blood sacrificed for victory. And she was reliving it until we started working on reverse engineering the conjure. Now she's able to be fully present in the present for herself. All this is side effects of the recovery, but we still playing out a process, reverse engineering all of the conjures. So we about there. Then the conjures be removed, then the people start to move correctly automatically. What Baba say? Right knowledge, right wisdom, right understanding produces right action. Right? And then you got what's called the eightfold Buddhist path of righteousness. Right? And so we know that there's a formula, but if we don't use it, we can't benefit from it. And that's why we come on here and we find out information that most people don't know and put it in the public domain. Tribal tradition is the most amount of the tribe's people that can get the understanding of what's going on. We can collectively then unite mentally first in order to see the problem clearly together. And together we execute the solution, because if you can see the problem, the solution is present. And this is the moment of truth in the bull fight where the bull for the first time see the matador is not the cape, and the cape is not the matador. Now he's looking at him dead in his eye at the moment of truth. If that matador don't act right with this last strike, he out of there. It's the moment of truth. This is where we at. All of these cases, like Big Tookie case, is the same MO as Geronimo Pratt case. The police got caught bragging about setting Geronimo Pratt up, and he was locked up 27 years. Right? Go back and read Mumia case in New Jersey. Right? He got bopped upside the head by the police. The lady looking out the window said the other police shot the police. The police that hit Mumia in the head turned around and shot his partner. And by that time, Mumia loopy sitting on the curb. They told her, lady, you didn't see that. They never put her statement in the report, but it was still in the file. And coming to find out, it was part of a crooked cop investigation, right? It came out that the cop that got killed was the straight up cop that was telling on the crooked cop. And they still won't let that man out and got him forever locked up. We know they doing this. The only reason why somebody would do this much stuff to a people is they at war. Look what they did to Assata. Right? Why they want to kill Assata? She's part of the leadership of the land. That's her territory. That's her queen's land right there. The New Jersey, the turnpike. Grab a goose by the neck. Flip the T on the turnpike.
They said they were gonna get rid of the chiefs, so in order they had to get rid of the clan mothers because the clan mothers picked the chiefs.
Look, people, these names that I'm dropping, go look these people up. Look up Lucy Parson. Most feared black woman in America by the FBI. I'm not making that up. So why was she so feared? When you start reading their story, they're going to tell you that she was a woman, that she was an Indian woman. But when they tell you the highlights, they tell she was the most feared black woman. They knew she was a tribal mother. She just didn't know how to extend her reach because she didn't have her personal strategists like Empress Rarebird got now, where we can make a further reach by explaining it to enough clans members that the natural nature of the clans, we begin to wake up and stop participating in the shenanigans. So eventually it's going to come to a point where our people is just going to leave a blank statement across the internet. I'm organic to this land and I do not consent to y'all presence, period. And once we start rolling that and different people doing it, everybody doing it on their page, type it on your page, I am organic to this land and I do not consent with your presence. Right. Take over the internet. They hate when we take over the internet for some reason. It's like they butt sore if we take over the algorithms in the internet. We ain't understood the strategies that they play by. The reason that they don't like us taking the algorithm over because the algorithm directs the flow of their currency through the network. And if we start affecting their bottom dollar, we hit them in the pockets. And when a person got a big ego, the worst thing you can do is hit him in the pockets unless you're going to hit him directly in his ego. Right? So the take over the algorithm, that is like a feared approach of the general masses awakening. And for the ones who ain't originally from here that support us, all they got to do is say, I support the organic to the land, and I do not consent to you motherfuckers' presence either. But you know what? We be took over the whole internet. They be like, who started this shit? The tribe spontaneously decided that they was tired of y'all playing in their face, and they don't consent to this BS no more. Take it over.
Man, if all of us thought it's knowledge like they just like somebody just said. Look, in the crowd.
Everybody think it got to be a whole lecture. No, them TikTok bites the coldest pieces on the internet. Yeah, excerpts from these lectures that we do like this. Yeah. TikTok blowing up. That's why they trying to shut TikTok down in America. Yeah. You think that's just an accident?
Nah. Yeah, that's right.
Right. If everybody just put a 20-second clip and say, I'm organic to the land and I no longer consent to y'all presence. And the people that support it say, I'm a supporter of the organic people to the land and I don't consent to y'all presence either. I've made my alliance. That's all you gotta say. Then just take over the internet. Mm-hmm. When it hit the news, that's when you know they crying for mercy.
Yep. Yeah.
That's when you know they crying for mercy. As soon as it hit the news, you took the algorithm over.
Yeah.
It's a new craze coming out. And all of the original people to the land don't want us here no more. What do we do?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Hey,
But we got to remember, nobody owns. Hold on, Elder. We got to remember, don't nobody own the land. We caretakers of the land, from the land.
I'll say, could you break down who these guys are we want to leave? You know what I'm saying? In depth.
Well, we want the corporate legal fictions to leave, the fraudulent judges, the fake police.
Right.
Right. We want our autonomous control back.
Right.
We want to be able to restructure local government and have the network of federal ties to other local governments to aid and assist each other in dealing with our local communities.
Right.
Right. We have to get rid of this legal fiction that's already dead. It's already gone.
Right.
Bankruptcy was closed out in 2017.
Right.
The liquidation of assets and the return of assets been taking place ever since. In your face. That's why the White House was on Zillow. It wasn't on Zillow just to be on Zillow. It was part of the foreclosure. And when it first went up, they told you they foreclosed on it because the corporation was crumbling. But too many people start noticing. Some people out there that got the original advertisement from when it had the foreclosure bar at the top telling you that the White House had been foreclosed on, and the amount that was the value of the White House that it was for sale for, that's the amount of money that was foreclosed on in property value that was stolen from the tribes. We first had to reclaim DC with a totem pole because we don't operate under the law of the flag.
Yeah.
DC proper was under the law of the flag. By staking a totem pole, we assert our jurisdictional right on that 10 square miles that was the embassy for the Crown of England and the Vatican to govern the what they call international police force and controlling the people of the land and to administer what they call law and order, which is actually a term in reference to the systems of levies and liens instituted through the judicial system under the order of the King George in Savannah, Georgia, I was telling you about earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Right? When they told them that they had to use those contracts to systematically take everything from us. All of it is tied together, but the difficult part is for the way that they teach us to be one-dimensional in our thinking, we can't see the multifaceted dimensions of the plot. But the games like chess is supposed to break you out of the psychology of the linear one-way thinking. So that's why it's good to practice chess. Get you a chess computer and learn the game.
Man, on that note, man, we about to get ready to get up out of here. We over the 2-hour mark. We almost at 2.5 hours. And this right here was another banger. Man, we're going to be back, man, because we're doing a lot on birthrights right now. We pretty much trying to reel the people on home, man, to get their shit back, man. We sick and tired of these people, these bastards on our land, man. They free grazers, I tell you. Free grazing our big mama's land. And then we told them, you can park. Hey, they asked, can we park our shit on your land for a little while? We said, yeah, you can park over yonder, but make sure you be decent. Make sure you be decent. You know, when you come on Big Mama's land, you can't come on doing anything you want to do now. Them suckers come on trying to do whatever they want to do. And we told them, now we're gonna tell you now, one time only. Big Mama don't allow no free grazing on her land. All right. We told them, man. So now time is up, man. I mean, they broke the leasing agreements. Like you said, Rod, they didn't honor no treaties.
Okay, so as a active chief on the land under Article 77 of the Iroquois Confederacy, and being a certified war chief, um, chief of security as a trainee in the Nation of Growth and Development,
Yeah.
elevating my status to supreme strategist,
Yeah.
right, in the brain banging university's dean.
Yeah.
I use my intelligence to come in on behalf of my collective clans and my clan families across the land to tell them people, Article 77, you got to go.
Eviction notice, man.
We served them.
They've been served.
They've been served. But remember, sometimes it's a whole lot of heavy lifting in an eviction. And that's why it might seem like
the Pope washed his hands with it. The Pope said he don't want no more to do with it. He told Obama now, look here, man, you know, y'all been messing over these people. You know, y'all know we did wrong. It's time to go ahead and get these people their stuff back and leave them alone, man.
Hey,
Pope
look,
wash his hands.
I got to say this. Somebody put in the comments that they think Billy and Terrence are agents. Anybody that you think an agent, this is how you look for an agent. What agency would he be working for, performing the type of work that he does, right? And the information that he's generating, is he doing it for educational purpose or financial gain or to steer social ideology? Breaking old paradigms is one of the things that the system don't want. Right?
Right.
I'm not going to never say the way this system is set up now that anybody is not an agent, but agents are normally identifiable because they normally have an underlying agenda that if you watch them for a couple of days, couple of hours, you'll be able to identify the underlying agenda.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And once you know the underlying agenda, you can tell how they move, if they mean it or not.
Yeah.
Right. If they doing something and they don't mean it, that means they doing something for somebody else.
Yeah. Just going through the motions.
Right. But if they doing something and they mean it and it's coming from a true place, then can't nobody tell them how to do it.
That's right.
And they passionate about what they do.
That's right.
Right. Normally, those types, people that break paradigms and challenge the status quo, when they use them as an agent, that's part of the Hegelian dialectic problem resolution, problem reaction solution. But when you use that lens, you got to look at what the problem that's being created, the reaction that they expect to have, and then match that to see if it's the desired effect. If it's the desired effect, you know how the solution is going to come in. Once you understand that, you'll be able to pick it up so quick, but you got to review it a couple times in your head how it works. Your subconscious mind learn the skill, it'll do it without your conscious mind telling it to anyway. But you got to first practice it like you want to know how to do it. And when you get done practicing a mental exercise, you forget about it. That's when the subconscious start practicing it.
Right.
Because the subconscious say, that old short-term memory is so forgetful. Let me keep doing this because he ain't going to remember to do it. And that's how. Yeah.
Hey, man, we about to get up out of here, man. Shit. Man, that boy Rob be going in, Rob. I'm trying to figure out how I'm surprised your head ain't the size of Yaku, Rob. I'll hit you though. You're supposed to have your head supposed to be double the size it is. I'm telling you.
Look, it ain't the size of the stick, it's the magic in the wand.
Yeah.
If you don't believe me, you can ask Don Juan.
That's fire. Hey, y'all. Hey, we had about 5,000 people on tonight, man. We got 1,500 and something on right now. Hey, y'all, if Raw don't do it for the money, but if you want to show Raw some love, and if y'all send him $1, man, it'll put him in the game right there. 15. We want to send him more than that, you know. That's fine too, man. Well, we ain't asking for nothing. I mean, but if you just want to show us some love and keep us doing what we doing, you know, show them some love. Now we about to get up out here. We're gonna be back with another one, man. We're gonna come back with another. Keep y'all updated on the land. As of right now, we pretty much got everybody up to speed so far on what's happening. I mean, you should be seeing all this shit transpire here coming up, especially coming into 2025. You should see pretty much the closing down of the government. So don't be scared to set up your own hustle, man, and start get your money out that bank. Because these banks, now I'm telling you, man, these banks have to be tricky in 2025, man, on how they gonna handle your money. So, you already know about they know real money anyway. But we're gonna come back on that one. But on that note, man, we about to get up out of here because I'm about to go to the other side.
I'm about to rustle me up some vittles.
Huh?
I said I'm about to rustle me up some vittles.
The vittles.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we better get up in. Hey, if you want to know about the quantum financial system, we already got whole tapes out on that. Just go scroll down, man, on the video side. We cover with everything over here, Young Yellow TV. Hey, man, we about to get up out of here. But I wouldn't put my money in no damn crypto, no imaginary money. I'm just saying. Or no block and chain. I don't want. What I like getting the block and the damn chain. They put the block. They call that the chain gang down in Mississippi. They got block and chain on the nigga with a scrappy suit on. So I don't want no damn. I mean, it's different perspectives on it. That's just my perspective. A nigga tell me he finna give me a block and a chain. It sound like he finna put me in jail. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But we out of here, man. We say peace and love throughout the balanced universe to all. Free the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York. Free Larry Hoover.
Y'all can send a request. I don't know how I'm gonna know. Y'all send me a request if y'all want to come up and chat with the chief for a minute. I don't know how long Facebook gonna let me okay. First one first. See how they gonna play us today. This edition of Chiefing with the Chief. Okay, I'm not getting no response on that. That was it said Nikki decline. Oh, okay, that's just okay. That ain't the request to get on. That's the request to get on. I was accidentally trying to add people that might be shy to talk on the live. Nervous, talking from the people. So okay. Said she declined. Nikki Dixon, come on up. Let's see what the people want to talk about. See if y'all paying attention to the movement of the energy that's taking place around the world in real time. What's up, Chief? We doing open Q&A, Chiefing with the Chief session. Okay, so that's another decline. If you want to come up, send a request. A couple of requests. They just said that they didn't want to come up. So if you want to come up, chat with the Chief, it's not letting you. That's crazy because, okay, let me see something. Okay. Now I see what's going on.
Okay.
Got it. Hey, you on there? I don't see you.
Yeah. Hey.
I can.
Oh my God. I'm rotating. I am. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. I can't see you though. You got something covering up your camera?
Okay. Let me let me take my phone case off.
Is your camera
Uh,
turned on first?
I thought it. I thought it was on. It is.
Okay, you might have to flip it because you might be filming the back of your case. So you
Okay.
try to flip it first. That's the circle on the upper right. It's the third one down with the circle on it. That'll flip the camera.
Okay. Upper right. Okay. This phone is acting crazy, and I'm sitting still. So, uh, oh my Lord. And I have everything off. Nothing is blocking my phone.
Okay, well, we're gonna chat with you when people just won't be able to see you.
Okay. Peace and blessings. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, how you doing, sweetie?
Uh, I am great now that I can speak to you personally. This has been heavy on my heart. Yeah. Wow.
Catch your breath. Take your time.
Thank you.
You talking,
Okay.
act like you talking to one of your brother friends. He brought in the house.
That's exactly.
He stepped on all. He didn't stepped all over the carpet. Didn't wipe his feet at the door. Your brother ain't saying shit to him. You looking at both of them like they crazy. Now you can tell him what you need to tell him.
That's right. That's right. It's a pleasure to be online with you. It's an honor. Thank you for accepting my call.
Oh, you welcome, sweetie. Oh man, I do what I can when I can. That's all I could do.
That's true. That is true. What's been on my mind is I've been seeing a lot of death, but mainly like by accidents or visions of how my family or I will find them. And I've been, you know, this journey I'm just on this journey and I'm learning, and I'm always excited when you come on and you always answer my questions without me
Can I,
having to ask.
can I ask you something? When you say you keep seeing death, do you mean psychically or do you mean in the physical world actually taking place?
Mm, psychically, um, like a deja vu.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and the devil is a lie. And then I go down and I see my family members, or I rotate somewhere else to get that off my mind, and or I go back there and chief with my mom, and we talk about it sometimes. So, just want to know, what does that mean, and am I receiving messages?
Okay. In the psychic realm, the mind uses exaggeration as a means to make something stand out in your waking state to the
Hmm.
play out in reality. The
Okay.
extreme exaggeration psychically of change is called death.
Right.
Death don't always mean somebody gonna die. It
That's
could
um,
mean something in somebody, like they've learned, had an awakening, and they finna kill a bad habit.
okay.
So,
That makes sense.
like for example, if you having a vision, a reoccurring vision of somebody stumbling out of the nightclub, drunk, sloppy drunk, falling down, getting ran over by a car, then it might be the car is the catalyst to a drunken night out that wakes this individual up and makes him kill the alcoholic in himself so that he can progress on his shadow work to the recovery of the self.
You just answered my question, and I have to do my shadow work. I don't know why it's alarming or a resistance for me, but I speak it instead of writing. So I think I'm focusing too much on the writing and not focusing on how I'm doing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So the method, while you trying to figure it out, you using a training method. It's just training you to focus on the frequency. You use journaling. Some people use tarot cards. Some people use runes. But you're training yourself in the physical world with a, like teaching the child to write with a pencil. You're training yourself with these implements, and you programming yourself with ritual.
Okay.
Things you do ritualistically is programming you to how to execute whatever your game plan is. It's just that most of us game plan is predicated up on some stringy hippie coming out of the clouds with a Philharmonic orchestra and a nightgown on.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we focusing on the wrong frequency of energy to properly tune in our psychic resources. Nature is going to figure out a way to teach you. Your deja vu moments are the moments in your book of life where you said, this is a flip. This is a tie me back to something else that I told me to remind me of, and it gave it to me in this surreal experience that they classify as deja vu. The sense or the sudden feeling that you've done this before or lived this moment before. But it's a point in your consciousness where you pinned it so that you focus on events of the day to try to figure out, why would I tell myself in my book of life to put this loop here? Because that's what it is. It's a pin loop. It's tied to something from the past that you was working on. So now you finally have whatever it is to overcome it. So you have to be reminded of when you was working on it on the past so that you become aware that you now have the tools to fix the problem in the present. This is all part of the breaking the generational curses and shadow work too. This is all tied together.
Okay. And I am a caregiver for my mom and dad, and I have my kids living with me, and I wouldn't change it for the world. And I remember seeing one of your videos about the caregiver, and I can't find it, but what advice would you give a young woman, retired military, 22 years, holding it down? And I'll stay to myself, but I've been, let's say, I have not been. What I will say is people that I thought were real to me, because I'm real to them, have walked out of my life. I look at it as a lesson and I've learned, but what advice could you give me to, I guess, to subconsciously tell me it's okay to move forward and it's going to be all right?
You need a sister group that'll enforce your self-care.
Ain't that the truth?
This is why we never allow any of the sisters to tend to the elders by themselves. We always had a way where we can bring a team together that's doing similar stuff, so that they can rotate and cycle and give everybody a chance for self-care. Caregiver syndrome, you become so focused on caregiving others. This is why the father is so important to the mother, because he's supposed to enforce her self-care so that she's more functional for the children, because he want her to be at peak performance if he love her and he love his family. And to keep her at peak performance, he have to make sure she have a stand-up solid sister group that's not going to have her out there on BS when she going for me time. You know, they can do stuff together with her to get her out of the house, get her away from the children, make her tend to herself some, take her on spa day, you know what I'm saying? Or one of them just might have a chill pad, right? But you need your sister group so that you can be forced by your team, because it'll make it easier for you to adhere to your self-care. That they call it peer pressure support. So you using your team of sisters, y'all. This is what the Califia queens used to teach all of the priestesses and the daughters to the chiefs across the land. That's why they had the women's resort to teach this stuff, because the settlers came and told the women, they turned them against each other so that they can break up the sisterhood. They used something called the broken mirror spell, where they broke a mirror on the crossroads and cast a curse on the sisterhood of the priestess of the land to make them be hostile towards each other and not recognize each other. That was a conjure, right? The conjure has been broken the last couple of years because I had to work with the descendant of the person that was responsible and make her break the spell, because it has to be, if the person not here to break their own spell, they have to have a worthy descendant, blood relative, that breaks the spell. And this is how you end up figuring out how to close all of the conjures at a higher level of Hecka magic, by knowing who the descendants is, by the work that they doing in their life. It's going to reveal them. And that's how we was able to close out that Haitian revolutionary conjure, because they sent soldiers to Florida after the French left Haiti. And they sent priestesses and priests to New Orleans. And they was working together using what they call cross conjure support.